Ibrahim Traoré did not rise from comfort, wealth, or privilege. He rose from a land where survival itself teaches you the meaning of courage. Long before the world learned his name, he walked through villages where children grew up without guarantees, where mothers buried sons lost to conflicts they did not choose, where families waited for a hope that never arrived. These were not stories in a book for him. They were his reality, his motivation, his fire. And when the weight of suffering became too heavy, Traoré refused to stay silent. He stood up, not because it was easy, but because no one else dared to. His voice did not tremble. His steps did not hesitate. He spoke for a nation tired of waiting, tired of begging, tired of being told to accept the chains wrapped around them. From the moment he took the microphone, something shifted. Not just in Burkina Faso, but across the entire African continent. His words carried the pain of generations, but also the strength of a people who refuse to die quietly. He told Africa, "Your resources are not a curse, they are your power. Your people are not weak, they have been made to believe it." And suddenly, millions of young Africans who had never seen a leader speak like this felt something awaken inside them. In his courage, they found their own hidden bravery. In his defiance, they discovered their own voice. Traoré didn't lead with titles or luxury. He led with presence. He walked through the crowd like one of them, sat with them, bled with them, listened to them. While other leaders hid behind walls and armored cars, Traoré stood shoulder to shoulder with the people, proving that leadership is not about distance, it is about sacrifice. The world watched him with shock, because he didn't bend to foreign pressure, he didn't fear sanctions, he didn't bow to threats, he didn't apologize for demanding dignity. He exposed the truth that powerful nations tried to hide. Africa is not poor. Africa is plundered. Its people are not helpless, they have been silenced. Its future is not doomed, it is being rewritten. And as he spoke, the old systems began to tremble because they realized they were facing a leader who could not be bought, softened, or controlled. Every time Traoré stepped onto a stage, he carried not papers or scripts, but the weight of his ancestors. Every sentence he spoke was the echo of centuries of struggle. Every stand he took was a reminder that Africa's true strength does not lie in its governments, it lies in its people. And the youth felt it. In schools, in markets, in the streets, on social media, in every corner of the continent, people began speaking one name, Ibrahim Traoré. Not because he promised miracles, but because he awakened belief. He became the symbol of a new generation that refuses to kneel. He lit a fire that no amount of propaganda, no foreign influence, no intimidation could put out. Today, when Traoré speaks, it is not just Burkina Faso listening, it is the entire continent. Because Africa sees itself in him, young, ambitious, fearless, and tired of being underestimated. Leaders like him were never part of the world's plans. That is why they fear him. That is why they attack him. But what they fail to understand is simple. You can silence a person, but you cannot silence an idea whose time has come. And Traoré is not just a man, he is the beginning of an idea. The idea of an Africa that rises without permission. An Africa that controls its resources, an Africa that builds its own destiny, an Africa that refuses to be written by outsiders. This movement he sparked does not need permission. It does not need approval. It does not need acceptance. It is powered by something far stronger: pride, history, unity, and the unbreakable spirit of millions. This is why Ibrahim Traore's rise feels different. It is not political. It is not symbolic. It is spiritual. It is generational. It is continental. And every young African who listens to him feels the same truth beating in their chest. Our time has come. The old era is collapsing. A new era is rising. And Traore is the first drumbeat of that awakening. A drumbeat that will soon shake the entire world. Because what he represents is bigger than borders, bigger than governments, bigger than news headlines. He represents the shift of a continent that has been silent too long. A continent that watched outsiders draw its maps, take its resources, shape its stories, and now finally says, no more. For decades, Africa's greatest wealth was never its minerals, its oil, or its land. It was its people. But that strength was buried under doubt, divided by politics, weakened by foreign interests. Ibrahim Traore is tearing those barriers apart with nothing but truth. He reminds Africa of the one power no nation can steal: unity. He reminds Africa of the one weapon no army can defeat: identity. He reminds Africa of the one belief that can rebuild nations: pride. And the youth, the millions who grew up hearing that change was impossible, are now awakening with a fire they never knew they had. You see it in their eyes. You hear it in their voices. You feel it in the energy shaking the streets from Dakar to Nairobi, from Kinshasa to Accra. A continent once described as the future is now stepping forward as the present. And this shift terrifies those who once controlled Africa's destiny. Because for the first time, they are facing a generation that is not afraid. A generation that is educated, connected, outspoken, and hungry for dignity. A generation that does not want handouts. It wants independence. A generation that does not want permission. It wants power. And Traore has become the spark that unites this generation across languages, borders, and histories. His voice carries the thunder of long-suppressed truth. His presence carries the weight of leaders who came before him: Sankara, Lumumba, Nkrumah, Mandela, but with a new energy, built for a new era. He is not trying to repeat their story. He is building the next chapter they dreamed of. When he stands before the world and speaks without fear, it sends chills across Africa, because people see something they thought was gone: authenticity, integrity. A leader who is not scripted, not controlled, not polished for foreign approval. A leader who speaks the language of the streets, the villages, the people. A leader who walks into danger instead of hiding from it. That is why his rise feels unstoppable, because it is not carried by politics. It is carried by the hearts of millions. They march with him, they pray for him, they protect him, because they know that voices like his do not come often. They know that he is challenging systems far bigger than his nation, and they know that if he succeeds, Africa changes forever. This is not just a rise, it is a rebirth of confidence, a rebirth of unity, a rebirth of a continent tired of being underestimated. And Ibrahim Traore, with every word, with every speech, with every step, becomes the drumbeat, pushing Africa toward a future written not by foreign hands, but by African hearts. This awakening has only begun, and no force on earth will be able to silence it now. If you want, I can continue with the next script, or give you title, description, thumbnail.